ERA Global is the place, is the destination. If you're looking to distribute your product, if you're trying to find a way to scale and get global impact and get global reach for your product, you have to be here. This event can change your life. So don't miss it. Make sure you come here. And guys, come to the show. Don't miss it. This is the place to be. Hey guys, welcome back to the Global Launch Summit podcast. We're here with ERA Global, and guess what? We have the chairman of the board.
The current chairman. Hopefully not the forever chairman, but I am enjoying the role, yes.
So Jonathan Gregory, who also works with Oaklawn Marketing.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Oaklawn and then why this organization is important to groups like Oaklawn.
Okay, so Oaklawn Marketing was founded in 1993 in Nagoya, Japan. We are still in the infomercial space. We're the largest direct marketer in Japan using infomercials. We're in 15,000 store locations in retail. We're a digital marketer. We're like everybody else these days. We're an omni-channel marketer. But traditionally, we have come to the ERA for knowledge. We come here to learn from our peers. Everybody is generally benevolent and sharing in what they're doing. And we come for product. We do more product development now than we have. I mean, COVID forced everybody into a little bit more product development than they may have had in previous years. But we still come here looking for the successes from other countries.
Right.
Because let's be honest, Japan is a group of monolingual islands surrounded by other Asian countries who don't speak their language and don't necessarily share their ideals, and some of them don't like them. We don't necessarily need to market test everything in Japan. We're happy if things are tested elsewhere and they're successful and we bring them in, because at the end of the day, everybody, people are people everywhere. We're all the same on the inside. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants a six-pack, be that a beer or abs. Everybody wants something and everybody wants the same things. Everyone wants, it's a human condition. We all want need the same thing.
I think there's a intricacies, right? Because when you come to an ERA Global event, you are exposed to marketers, product distributors, and I mean, you have 15,000 stores in Japan. Think about that for a minute.
Store locations. Multiple store locations in some stores.
When you start to think about that kind of depth, and you start to think about that kind of reach, and you suddenly go, "Hey, I can come to one place and I can get contacts and distribution for Germany. I can get it for Spain. I can get it for Japan. I can get it for Australia. I can get it for the United States. Everything in one place, I think, is the challenge." So I think, what kind of impact does that have for someone bringing their brand here, bringing their product here?
This is a thing, and this really is a thing. There is no other organization where you can find sort of the key marketers for every global market in one place, and not just the companies and the marketers, but the key decision makers are all here. We have the presidents of all the companies here. We have the decision makers here. You can bring your product here, and it can be launched on the entire planet. By coming to one show. I mean, come on, this is fantastic.
It's crazy, and here's the crazy part. It's a smaller show, so it's an exclusive group, and it's one of those places you actually get access to the decision makers. I think that's the big point. If you can get to a decision maker, which the challenge is when you go to some of the bigger shows and you're out there at Ambiente or you're out there at Housewares or any of the large shows, you're dealing with layers of people. Here, you're dealing with people who actually can activate, who have the fulfillment processes, have the distribution opportunities, have the marketing and understanding in the market, have everything set up for all your taxation, your fees and tariffs, who understand how to import goods. It may take you years to put all that together, and in one place you can get it all.
We are concentrated. Like you can go to, and you're right, it's a smaller group, but we are concentrated. You can go to a larger trade show, and it is dilute.
Yes.
You have to find the people. It's never easy. Here, everybody is just right here. This is what we do. This is who we are. It's a concentration of the right people. You know, if let's not name any shows, but if show A is beer, well, we're vodka.
So that's a really good analogy. And I like beer. I also like.
They're both good. They each have their time and their place.
So let's talk about specifically Japan. And I think the differences, we've had different people on the podcast talking about different countries and whatnot. How is Japan different from a marketing standpoint for those of us who are watching this in the United States and or throughout Europe or throughout the world who see this clip? How should they think about Japan from a marketing standpoint differently?
You know, from a marketing standpoint, Japan is not terribly different.
Okay.
Most countries are not terribly different. From a content perspective, Japan is extremely different. The content that Japanese wish to see and consume is incredibly different. So we go through pretty broad localization processes of some products and less of others. It really depends on the category and what it hits. For example, a food product has an incredible cultural depth in Japan. And an American show, no offense to all of you American marketers out there, but the content in your show can be kind of disgusting for the Japanese. They don't necessarily like those foods. We might have to reshoot all the food scenes in a show just to make it work for Japan. And also, American infomercials, for example, you guys film in these beautiful aspirational homes.
Yeah.
And that is an aspirational image for an American consumer. But for a Japanese consumer, I mean, really, it's just their aspirational image might be a larger box in a condominium to live in, but not necessarily a home like you'd find on a beach in Florida. That's not a big
palatial place.
No. So, quite often when we show product usage shots, the things that start, because we generally, I guess, look, we generally, you want to use the shows as is first and then start weeding out the content that doesn't work, that isn't effective for us, and replacing it with the content that is. And one of the first things that we generally start to replace are usage shots, because these giant American aspirational homes don't really matter to the Japanese. But if we show a nice Japanese home, or even not such a nice Japanese home, but a regular Japanese person using the product in their home, that starts to push up our response rate. And the other thing that really affects the Japanese is again, it's a monoracial country. They like to listen to each other more than they like to listen to us. And I take no offense to that.
High levels of social influence on that side of it.
So it's one thing to have a Westerner in a show tell them how good a product is, but to have a real live testimonial, someone who has used the product, who loves the product, tell them why it's good for them in their world, that becomes something quite magical for them.
I think what you're getting at, and I think it's true, not just in Japan, but I think it's true globally. You have to have the localization that matters. You have to think about how you're marketing differently in that space. And then authenticity. It's everything. Authenticity of how you speak to that consumer is slightly differently. But the idea that a brand, and we had a great session this morning or yesterday morning, which was a pitch room session, which all of these hopeful product people who have developed these products, their passion, they're entrepreneurs, they've developed some kind of tech, they're here and they're looking for people to help them market it. Like, they come in and they do this pitch, and they're pitching not to an investor that's going to throw money at them and then maybe go away or something like that. They're actually pitching to global decision makers that can suddenly greenlight a product. We know for a fact that we've brought products here and it's generated hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for these product owners and entrepreneurs. You can't get that anywhere else, and that's a powerful thing when you start to think about the capability of access.
We have brands that we picked up at these shows that we're still selling now that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales, and that these came from this show. The number of products we've taken out of this show, I mean, our company over the past 30 years has generated billions and billions and billions of dollars. And easily, well, in the beginning, it was almost 100% coming from here. Now we have a little bit more of our own product development, but it's still, in any given year, 40 to 60% of our revenues are coming from the relationships we have here, coming from this show. So when you're talking about the pitch room, it was a fantastic event. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's really fun to see people come in and show their passion about the products that they've invented, and then to have the interest and the questions from marketers in the room, people who can pull the trigger, as you say, and say, let's invest money, let's make commercial assets, let's get influencers, let's do this, let's do that, let's get it out there, and let's propagate the brand. Because a lot of these guys they tend to be smaller marketers and they're not as experienced marketers, and they don't necessarily know all the really effective go-to-market strategies that people in this room do. They have some success, and they're coming in with some success. That's why they're excited about their products. But the ability to bring that to this group who can make it so much bigger, hey, that is something that's really fantastic. And I really hope that our pitch room will continue to grow at every show. I implore anybody who has products that they want to bring into our industry and to sell everywhere on planet Earth to come here and pitch your products to this group, because you'll never find a more concentrated group of vodka individuals, a concentrated group of individuals who can actually do this.
So I think to that point, like if you're watching this and you're out there and you're seeing this in some feed somewhere and you're like, well, what the hell? What John's saying, and what he's talking about is coming in and pitching to a group that can actually activate your brand in all of these markets. All the systems are set up. All of it. I'm talking about like even the first line of it. If you get 10 countries activated, if you can get 40 countries activated, imagine the amount of money that you can start to generate and the amount of opportunity. If you really want to see your idea go global, that's why the one here in Las Vegas is called the Global Launch Summit. Because when you come here and you take that opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to meet these people, I'm going to get access in a way that's real and meaningful, and really be able to communicate and have the questions back and forth and have them ask the reasons why your product will be good in one place or another. At minimum, you're going to be smarter about your product. You're going to get insights about your product. And on the best side of it, you're going to get a deal. And if you get a deal and suddenly you open up Japan and you turn $100 million in a product in Japan a year, think about the capability and possibility inside that. And I think organizations like this are often forgotten, or they're thought, well, it's a lot of older, more established companies in that sense. But that establishment to be able to get to retail, to be able to get to direct to consumer, that establishment to understand the market in its intricacy is huge. So if you're watching this and you got a product, sign up for the pitch room. There's probably a click or a link somewhere around me.
Who we are as a group. And this is really, when you're talking about bringing your product to the pitch room and hopefully getting a deal with one of the people in this room, that's really the point. It only takes one. You need one company to say, I am going to take this and I'm going to run with this. Because they will go and they'll make the assets and they'll test everything and they'll make your product start to grow, your brand will grow. But everybody who comes to this show, everybody who's here, we're all coming to trade with each other. We all have our good innovations, our good ideas that we want to sell to each other, and we want to find out what our peers are selling, we want to buy from them. We're all trading. Nobody in our industry can stand to watch anybody else have fun alone. If you get a deal with one company and you come here, you get a deal with one company and they're successful, they're going to bring the product back here to another show or to the show in Europe, and they're going to share it with everyone. So it doesn't matter really who gives you the deal. You just need one person in this group to give you a deal, and then everybody else is going to want to join in the fun, because that's the way our industry works.
It's an amazing way to get to scale. And I think now, as in the U.S., we've seen some tariffs that are affecting, even though U.S. is still the largest market out there, right? It is affecting some of the global some of the distribution of product. So diversifying your product into global platforms is really important from like a brand marketer standpoint.
We have no tariffs in Japan.
No tariffs.
Well, so tiny ones, but not like your American tariffs.
That gateway, that path, that limitation that's happening right now, it's okay because the U.S. economy can handle it and it'll survive it, right? It'll adjust. But price points will go up in the U.S., which means if you don't want to be subject to that volatility, then you have to be diversified, and you have to be diversified across the planet.
Depends on where you are in your business at any one point. You might not be able to handle what tariffs might do to you now. And it might take you might need more revenue and more time to adjust. But you can go international.
Yes.
You can go international in the meantime.
Like right now.
Right now. You can come here tomorrow and you can go international right now. And when you have more revenue and you're in a little bit better state, then you can come back and work on your local business and deal with your tariffs.
So John, if you were giving people out there advice about how to take their product global and how to take their product out there, and this is the one thing you got to tell them in a short in a short communication, what would it be?
Come here. That's it. That's really it.
How should they prepare for that? Should they be, how far along in their journey should they be?
I don't think it really matters. You can come here with a relatively well-formed idea. You can come here with a completely tooled product. You can come here with a product that is tooled that you're marketing on a relatively small scale by yourself, and you have a proof of concept. In any state, there are people here. There is such a wide variety of people who are coming here, and knowledge. Even if your product is your idea for a product is written on the back of an envelope, there are people here who can develop that into a full-fledged product. Any stage. Now, I'll be honest, the farther along you are, the easier it's going to be to get a deal because you have more to sell. The more you have to sell, the easier chance you have to get a deal. But you come here with anything.
Yeah.
That's just a reality.
So, Jonathan, thank you for joining me, for being part of this.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
A lot of
leading
fun.
this organization.
My friend, always good.
Guys out there, listen, if you are on the fence about coming to this next show, I'm going to tell you where the next one is. It's in Mallorca. Yes, that's Spain on an island, June 1st through the 3rd. If you are considering coming, book it early. The place is going to fill up. You will have access to to global marketers from around the world that are some of the best marketers you're ever going to meet anywhere. And you will be able to have access and time with them to sell and discuss how you want to go forward with your product. At minimum, you're going to meet some of the smartest people. You're going to learn about marketing your product. You're going to get the information you need to truly go global with ERA Global.